Between the hedges, Georgia Dawgs coming out. War Eagle flying over Jordan hair skies. Hottie toddy down in Oxford, rebels rise. Cowbells ringing in Starkville all night. Rocky Top singing in that Leland light. Anchor down Vandy, black and gold pride. Gamecocks crowing in Columbia loud and wide. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score. Gators in the swamp, trumping all day long. Saturday nights in Death Valley, that tiger strong. So we Razorbacks, crowd calling the hogs. Blue Ridge battle Wildcats, bringing the dogs. Show me Miss Zone, black and gold fight. Boomer sooner running on a Saturday night. Hook 'em horns, burnt orange in the sun. 12th man standing, Aggies get it done. Saturday lights, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score. Saturday lights, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk. We talk that score.
Welcome to this presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.
Woo! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler, man. Got to getting everything together, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us as well. Ladies and gentlemen, rocking with us around the water cooler. It is the one and only DC Wolf from Auburn. What's up, DC? How you feeling, man?
What's going on, Nicholas? How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great, doing great. Also with us tonight, it is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Bubba from Bubba and the Old Man Auburn Sports Talk. What's up, Bubba?
What's going on, fellas?
Not much, not much. Also, it is your favorite insider, our favorite insider, everybody's favorite insider. It is Ant, the insider. Ant, what's up, man?
Fellas.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here. As always, around the water cooler, man. Before we get this thing rocking and rolling, y'all know what we got to do, man. We got to get this thing right. Make sure that y'all go and subscribe to these YouTube channels, man. Subscribe to our guy, Tez at SEC Season, man. Subscribe to our guy, Tight Sports, Alabama Football Megacast. DC Wolf over at Auburn_Addicts TV. Dustin over at the Up Tempo Podcast as well, man. I got B Sharp over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk. I got Vane and Chris over at the Go to Broom Podcast, man. Also, man, make sure you go subscribe to Bubba and the Old Man Auburn Sports Talk. I got Kid Country over at Kid Country on YouTube, and of course at the Huggy Beard himself on YouTube and on Twitter as well. Also, man, make sure you go follow us, follow our pages, our social media pages at CoolersPod23 on TikTok. On Twitter, and then of course follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk as well, man. Also visit and follow our Facebook page, man, the Water Cooler Talk Podcast on Facebook. Also visit www.watercoolertalksports.com, man, for all of your written work there. We're in the process of expanding that website, getting a little bit more functional. So yeah, may not be some new articles going up as regularly, but we gonna it's still up. You go check out and read some of the things that we still have on there from previous stories, man. Fellas, how y'all feeling tonight, man? Y'all feeling good?
Awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, bro.
That's what's up, man.
Georgia.
Shout out to everybody that's rocking with us in the chat, man, as well, man. Tim, the tool man, Taylor in the chat. What's up, Tim, man? Hope you're feeling good, man. At the Huggy Beard himself is in the chat. What's up, Huggy, man? My guy, Mike McKinney, is rocking with us in the chat. What's up, Mike, man? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great, my guy. Hope all is well with you, man. Thank y'all so much, man, for rocking with us, man. For rocking with us as well. D-Lev just rocked in with us, man. What's up, D-Lev, man? Hope you're feeling great. Thank you so much, man, for rocking with us. All right, man, let's get this thing rocking and rolling, man. We are doing our series of where we're looking at every single opponent on Auburn's schedule. We've already looked at the first 5 opponents. We've kind of broken them down and seeing exactly what Auburn will be going up against in those games. And now we have had a bye week. We played Tennessee. We've had a bye week. And now off of the bye week, we are now about to head to Athens and play Georgia. Hey, it's a big game every year. And Auburn always plays Georgia good. Always plays them close, but can never finish the game. We all remember what happened last year. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling, man. Let's get this thing started. You know what we got to do, man. I try to make this as visually appealing as I possibly can so we can all follow along with this thing. Let's talk about it, man. Let's start with the series record for Auburn and Georgia, man. Right now, the all-time series record for Auburn and Georgia. Georgia leads the series 66 wins to 56 wins for Auburn, 8 ties, man. Georgia has 9 consecutive wins against Auburn right now. In this series, the Deep South's oldest rivalry with Georgia's recent win coming last year. We all know what game that was. Georgia ended up coming back winning that game 20-10 after Auburn went out and got a 10-point lead and was on the cusp of going in and possibly going up 17 points before fumbling on the goal line. And that just kind of changed the whole momentum of the game there, man. As you know, man, we talk about coaches, man. Everybody knows who's the coach of Georgia football. Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart is the coach of Georgia football, man. As you can see there, he has a .848 winning percentage as Georgia's head coach, because that's the only place where he's been the head coach at. 2 national champions, back-to-back national championships he had there. Plus, he's a 4-time SEC champion in 2017, 2022, and then, of course, he had 2024 and 2025 these past seasons. You're looking at the offensive coordinator Mike Bobo, who was at Auburn for 1 season, was gone in the blink of an eye in that vein. So people looked at that and said, yeah, man, you know, it didn't work at Auburn, but Bobo ended up back at Georgia with his best friend, Kirby Smart. And he has been running a offense that has been pretty much just reliable and just steady since he's been there. A lot of people still criticize him for it, but hey, it still works. Also, you get to Glenn Schulman. Glenn Schulman, who was with Kirby Smart when he was a defense coordinator at Alabama. He was on that staff as well. Went to Georgia with Kirby and is now the defensive coordinator. A lot of people feel as if he is the next name that potentially can come up in the coaching ranks and be that next guy that a lot of teams will be looking at trying to get to be their head coach. You talk about the schemes of these teams, man. Scheme-wise, man, Georgia's offensive scheme, they run a lot of 11, 12 personnel. It's a very heavy run game. That's what you're looking at there. A lot of run game. They will run the football on you. They're going to have a very big offensive line, very strong physical offensive line, and they will run the ball, which is topped off by having a very solid quarterback. You know, very solid quarterback in Gunnar Stockton is the guy that's going to be basically maneuvering this offense, making sure this offense moves where it needs to be, getting them down the field and things, stuff like that. But they will have a stable of running backs that they will hand the ball off to. Defensively, 4-2-5. They're going to run a 4-man front. They have a star position there in that room. Jack linebacker is what they do. They are trying to stop the run. That's what they want to do. They want to pride themselves on stopping the run and making you play in 3rd and long situations and get you out of what it is that you do best on your side of the football, which is the offense and what it is. Fellas, we're taking a look at this. And shout out to Tez, man. Tez rocking with us, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Tez from At His SEC Season is rocking with us around the water cooler as well. What's up, Tez? Hope you're feeling good, man. How you feeling? Hey, Tez, you muted.
You feeling low. Low.
That should be better.
All right. There it is. All right, fellas, let's get this thing rocking and rolling. I'm starting with DC on this one. DC, your thoughts on this game? Golesh is going to Athens for the first time as the head coach of Auburn football.
Yeah.
Your thoughts in this game? And he made a statement in this game in Athens.
Man, I think for what we've seen in a long time, I think Golesh is going to go in, and I think it's going to be a competitive game. Now, do I think they're going to win? I'll hold that for the end of the show or whatever. But I think it's going to be a more competitive game than it's been in Athens. Man, we've been getting like just drug in Athens. Is in the last few years or last 10 years, it's not been a competition. It's been a competition when we've been at home and been close. We should have beat Georgia this past season, but in Athens, man, we've been non-competitive. But I think Golesh will field a competitive team that we'll be proud of when we go to Athens.
Bubba, your thoughts on this, man? Bubba, when you look at this team, what are the one thing that looks that gives you a sense of hope that Golesh can go in here and make this a competitive game against Georgia?
Yeah, I don't have a ton of hope for this game, if I'm being honest. Just
okay.
The main data point I point to is this style of offense versus this style of defense, right? Like last year, Tennessee almost got Georgia. We have like 8 data points with this style of offense against this style of defense, right? The Smart, Saban, Pruitt, Carl Scott style of defense, right? We have 1 win, 1 one-score loss, and 6 double-digit losses. Then the best data point is 2022 Tennessee, explosive, incredible offense, right? Just like one of the best offenses we've seen in a decade. Georgia shut them down.
By the way, who was the offensive coordinator of the offense for Tennessee that year?
Alex Golesh.
Yes, it was.
And they got crushed.
They did.
Because Georgia was able to they just sat on those option routes, forced them to throw it short, and they stopped the run with a 5-man box. And that's what's going to tell the story of this game. Georgia's front 7 or front 5, like they've used in the past, versus can Auburn run the football, and can they attack vertically? I actually like the outside matchups in this game. We can get to that in a little bit, but I really don't know how to feel about it.
And I know this game is coming off of a bye week, and I know you probably put a lot of stock into that. How much stock do you put into this that Auburn will be coming off a bye week before going to Athens? And then if we take a look at Georgia's schedule for this game before they play Auburn, they play right here is on the screen. They play at Alabama the week before. But Auburn will be on a bye week that week. How much stock do you put into that bye week for Auburn and how it can help Auburn potentially in this game on the road?
I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I put probably about a 6. I put more stock into hopefully Georgia and Bama be a hard-fought game the week before.
Okay.
And it kind of takes some juice out of Georgia because, as we know, Georgia's known for slow starts. And I think if we get up on Georgia by 10, I don't know if we'll let it go. Yeah, I don't know if we'll let the lead go.
And on that T-Pain tonight.
Interesting. Tez, man, when you look at this game, Tez, when you look at it, what is the one thing that I'm just gonna ask the same question to you, man? What is the one thing that gives you hope about this game? Is there something that you've seen from Alex Golesh this offseason? Is there something that could be a chink in the arm at Georgia that could make it, a gettable game for Auburn? I believe it was D Lev in the chat that said that Georgia is gettable. Excuse me, no, it was Tim the Tool Man said, man, UGA is definitely gettable this year. And we're gonna talk about the defense and the offense coming up in a minute. But what is the one thing that you look at that basically says, man, yeah, this team is gettable?
Yeah, a lot like what Bubba said. Georgia against these offenses, Georgia was able to stop the run with a 5. Can you stop the run with a 5-man box? And what gives me hope about Auburn is, we've got that fullback at quarterback, and we've got a bevy of running backs. If our offensive line can be formidable in the run game, it's going to be tough to stop those option plays, those run option plays, with just 5 men in the box. I also know that Georgia on defense, they like to disguise coverage a lot. They, we saw that in a couple games, particularly against Alabama. In some other matchups, they like to try to fool you on the back end. It's pretty tough to do that when you spread in the field sideline to sideline with receivers. So I'd say in scheme, a lot like what Bubba's saying, we have an advantage in that. It's just that usually they out talent you up front. But yeah, with Byron Brown, I haven't seen them do that against a team that runs this offense that also has a quarterback that is, turns into a running back when he's running the football. So I think we have, there's something there. And a lot like Ant said, we get up 10, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to force us into passing this ball around if we know we have an advantage in the run game like that.
DC, your thoughts on that? Are you do you agree with the fact that if Auburn does get up 10 in this game, it will be hard for Georgia to come back and make it a game?
Yeah, I think that Kirby Smart is the master of second halves, man.
True.
But in the game against Ole Miss, it seems like, man, they started slipping a little bit at the back end of the season. So, but we know that Kirby Smart does well at making adjustments. So I wouldn't necessarily say if we're up by 10, bro, it's over, because we're dealing with Kirby Smart and his adjustments. He always, as Ted says, he turning the faucet off in the second half, bro. That's just, we've seen that week in, week out, every week, every year. So I wouldn't say if we're up by 10, bro, we're going to have to be up by more than that. But I will say overall with Georgia's defense, they have been slipping. They've been on a steady decline. They had a blip back up last season, but they've been slipping a little bit. So it will have to be more than 10, bro. Maybe 17.
17.
Yeah, man, 17, 21. You're going to have to be gone with Kirby Smart, bro, because he's going to make the adjustments.
When I say 10, I mean late. I don't mean like
halftime.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, late.
The fourth quarter up 10, we got the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Bubba, your thoughts on that, man? You've in recent episodes, you have said that Georgia has underperformed. Well, let's not say Georgia. Georgia, because Georgia and Kirby Smart has underperformed. Do you agree with the fact that Georgia's defense has slipped in the past couple of years?
Yeah, that's why I said at the end, like, I don't know how to feel about it, because, they stopped it with 5 guys. But they stopped it with 5 guys that were Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis.
Right.
Jordan Hall's just not that, but and I think Tez made a great point. The reason Tennessee performed so well against Georgia last year was they had a quarterback that could do something that Georgia wasn't prepared for, and Joey Aguilar attacked the middle of the field. You can't prepare for Byron Brown. Like, they don't make humans like that regularly, right? And Georgia has fallen off to a degree defensively, fallen off in the sense that they're a top 10 defense, not the best defense we've arguably ever seen in college football history. So, I think them tailing off, right, and us being able to go up against their corners without as good of a pass rush as they had, having these receivers like Keyshawn Singleton and Jeremiah Coger who can attack these corners, like Ellis Robinson, who's been inconsistent, and DeMello Jones, who's been inconsistent, attack them vertically, which they were not able to do in the past. I think that'll be a big deal in this game. But then again, we go back to the offensive line question. We don't have a Darnell Wright on this offensive line. We don't have that offensive line that they had at Tennessee in 2022. So, again, I don't know.
Quickly, we got about a minute and a half. Golesh, what statement does Golesh have to make in this game at Athens to put the national press or put Auburn on the national media to make a statement? What statement does he have to make? Ted, start with you.
Of course, the statement would be to win the game, but to be competitive, to make Georgia go out there and beat us, look like the team that Georgia has to come out there and beat, not look like the team that we are trying to beat Georgia.
Okay. DC, what statement does he have to make?
I think the statement he has to make is he has to win the games before that game. If he wins all the games before that game and then it's competitive in that game, then that's the statement he has to make. Long as he, win the games before that game and then just be competitive in that game and we'll be good in my eyes.
Bubba, 30 seconds. What statement does he have to make in this game? What do you want to see? What statement do you want to see as a fan? And what statement do you think he has to make in order for the national perspective to change for Auburn? Because this is probably the game where it's going to start changing. Even though you played Tennessee the week before, this is the game that they're going to measure. That they're going to start measuring him against this type of coaching, this type of team.
Yeah, well, I'll answer that with a question. When's the last time we made Georgia win 4 quarters?
That's a good question.
Right.
Question.
Like that's what you got to do. Because Georgia beat Auburn for 1 quarter last year. You got to make them win 4 quarters. Even if they walk out with the win, make them win 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And that 1 quarter cost Auburn a game. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we'll be right back after these messages, man. Appreciate y'all so much, man. We're going to take a look at the people that help sponsor this show. We'll be right back after this.
Do you drink energy drinks and then a few hours later feel sluggish? Don't worry. I got the solution for you. Try Dubby. Dubby is a jitterless energy drink mix designed for better focus, clean energy, and no sugar crashes later. Whether you are working, watching Water Cooler Talk Sports Network, or locked in on game day, Dubby helps keep you going. Visit the link on your screen right now and take advantage of the discount and level up your energy with Dubby. SEC football fans, this is your channel. Every Tuesday, it's time for SEC Season Live, the most interactive SEC football experience on the planet. Live chat voting, hot takes, weekly rankings, real debate, and you help drive the conversation live on air. Then, every Thursday, hit the reset button with Lunch Breaks, your lunch break destination for real SEC football talk. Reactions, storylines, and unfiltered opinions from across the conference. If it matters in the SEC, it matters here. Subscribe now to @It'sSEC Season, and don't just watch the conversation, be a part of the show.
Yeah, man, shout out to the supporters that support the show, man. Dubby, one of our first real major sponsors. So shout out to them, man. We appreciate it so much. Man, a lot of us drink energy drinks, man, but a lot of those energy drinks have sugar in them, man. If you want one that has no sugar, you will have no crash after drinking it hours later. Try W, man. You see the link at the bottom of the graphic here. I do you one better. If you go to the subscription, if you read the description of this show, the link to it is in the description. If you click that link, you'll get 10% off your order with W when you go and purchase from the website. Also, man, Tez, tell them about it, man. What we got going on in SEC season, man?
Oh man, hey, first of all, when I heard "Do you drink energy drinks" in your voice, I looked up in the sky because I thought it was Big Sandals talking down on me. It's like I left them energy drinks alone, man. But anyway, yeah. At SEC Season on all platforms, man. Tuesdays, of course, you got SEC Season Live where we are on going into week 9. Depicting the Fans versus They series. We're trying to prove that the fans know football better than the experts, better than Vegas, better than the ESPNs. So tune in Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let your voice be heard. Add to the SEC Season Index so that we can have real numbers to put up against these industry folks. And then, of course, lunch breaks, man, on Thursdays, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Where we slow the conversation down. We have some nuanced conversations about all kinds of topics centered around football, man. Just this last week, just yesterday, I unveiled my plan to fix college football. Please go check that out if you have not. And just let me know what you think about that. Next week's episode is going to be something a little bit different. I can't unveil it yet, but it should be a lot of fun, man. So make sure you tune in there. Bring your lunch. Kick it with us. Put your feet up on your lunch break and just kick it with us, man. Go over there and subscribe. It's SEC Season, man. We have a good time over there.
Man, shout out to Tez, man. Tez had the opportunity, man. He was over there with Piano Man this morning. That was a great show this morning with Piano Man. And make sure y'all go subscribe to SEC Season. Ladies and gentlemen, man, let's keep this thing rocking and rolling. Doing pretty good, man. This is a great conversation, man. Elite Georgia defense. We've kind of hinted at this a little bit. And I think I know exactly where this conversation is potentially going to go, but you know what we got to do? We got to look at the numbers and see if the numbers match what we feel. You know what I'm saying? We look at Georgia's defense, man. This is Georgia's projected too deep on the defense side of the ball. You look at guys on this side of the ball. Elijah Griffin is definitely one of the names that stand out. He is definitely going to be one of those guys that is going to be on the front line of this defense that is trying to resurrect the pass rush, because Georgia has had a problem with the pass rush the past couple of seasons. It's just something that you haven't really seen before. Georgia have a problem with. You know, Bubba mentioned some names earlier of guys that were on that defense that made those teams look, you know, very, very good. Look at Raylan Wilson, man, at one of the linebacker positions. You look at Justin Williams, man. You look at Ellis Robinson on the back end, KJ Bolden on the back end. Some of those names there that have been in the system for a little while now. They kind of understand what Georgia wants to do. And now you look at what potentially these guys can do and will do as, you know, upperclassmen and leaders on this defensive side of the football. Like I said, one of the key storylines is Georgia's pass rush has not been that great the past couple of seasons for them. And that's low-key kind of hindered them a little bit. They haven't had that dominant defensive lineman that has been able to kind of like, you know, dictate games to where it allows the second and third levels of the defense to kind of do what they want to do. Then we move over to the numbers, man. We take a look at what the numbers look like for the past 5 seasons for Georgia's defense. The 2 seasons when they won the national championship, you look at what they allowed. 2021, they allowed just over 10 points per game. 2022, they allowed just over 14 points per game. But as you can see in 23, 24, 25, those numbers started to creep up some. And you actually look at it too when you look at the rushing yards per games. Those rushing yards started creeping up, except for when it came back to this previous season when they allowed less than 83 yards per game rushing. Could that be because of NIL? Could that be because of the transfer portal? Could that be because they don't have a lot of talent that's stacked on the depth chart now, and because that talent is stratified across the college football stratosphere? It's a possibility it is. Maybe coaching and development is going to be a little bit more important now for these teams moving forward. Bubba, I'm gonna get it kicked off with you. When you look at those numbers and you look at that, man, what is that? What is the one thing that comes to your mind first when you see that? And how do you, when you look at that, you made a statement earlier about saying, you talk about those guys that went up against Alex Golesh when he was at Tennessee, one of the most prolific offenses we've seen in college football that year. They had those Nakobe Deans, they had those Jordan Halls, they had those guys. You have a bunch of guys that are still young, but they've been in the system for a long period of time. But they are kind of trying to build themselves back up. What is the first thing that you look at when you see that? Does Auburn have a edge in this game, even though this game is in Athens?
Well, I mean, Auburn's main edge is that Georgia just does not have a guy that's shown to be an impact pass rusher at all. You look at where they're great. They're great at off-ball linebacker, like Chris Cole, Raylan Wilson, and Justin Williams. All those dudes are going to get drafted, right? KJ Bolden's one of the best safeties in the conference. The kid that's playing on the other side of him, that was a transfer. He had 3 picks last year. I haven't seen the tape, though. Interior D-line, they're solid. They're not great. They don't have a Jalen Carter in this group. So I think that Auburn's biggest edge in this game, as far as our offense going against their defense, is that our weakness, or our perceived weakness up front, is the fact our perceived biggest issue, offensive line, is going up against one of their weaker groups.
Okay.
And numbers-wise, like, their numbers tailing off, I think most of that has to do with just them being hit hard by the portal. They're not able to stack talent anymore.
Okay. DC, you agree with that?
Man, absolutely. The first thing came to my mind when I saw that graphic is when we talk about demarcation points and judging things, we talked about the NIL era, and you see it, man. The demarcation point for NIL, you see it when NIL started, Georgia defense is tailing down. So that's the first thing I think when I see it is, man, NIL hit them. They can't stack talent anymore, man. So I think that's going to be more of the norm. It's a trend at this point. So
how big? Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying at this point with Georgia, man, I think that's going to become more of the norm for that defense to look like that. And if you look at it, they made a blip back up in the run defense with 88 yards a game, but they still gave up more in the pass with 215 yards a game. So it's like you made strides in one area, but you still hemorrhaging in another area. So it's hard in this era, man. I think Georgia is going to be what it is, and they're going to continue to trend that way as far as NIL the way it is, unless they just, your money is up, and then you can just stack talent a little more than you could, but not like you could before, though.
Bubba said that Byron Brown, they don't make humans like him that often. How big of an X factor is he in this game against this defense?
Oh man, he's huge. He's huge.
Literally, he's huge.
If we're able to win this game, man, he's going to be the catalyst for it. Like he is going to be because of Byron Brown having a day against the Georgia defense. However, the thing about Georgia is they're so disciplined, even in their down years, right? If you like, great point that DC made, they were able to give up. They were able to stifle the run a good bit in 2025, but they gave up some yards in the past. The thing about Georgia is that like they are suffocating on defense, regardless of the talent that you've seen on them. The brand of defense that they play is just a suffocating type defense. You have to earn every yard, right? The graphic that you put up, it says attack all day, attack the ball, or something like that. Like, I don't know if is that actually their motto, because that's what I think about when I think of Georgia football. Yeah, attack the day, attack the ball. Like that's what that defense is. You're going to earn every single yard. If you do catch the ball, if you do gain yardage against them, if you do manage to get running plays against them, you're going to get hit by several players. Like they're going to be flying, discipline, sound tackling. Is usually what they're made of. And over the course of 4 quarters, it's just a lot for teams to keep up with. Fortunately for us, we have a guy at quarterback that can issue the same type of punishment on the other end. So hopefully that would work out in our favor. But like I said, at the same time, they extremely disciplined defense, always sound tackling to the ball. And even if if they're not good tacklers, they're always you're always going to see hats on the ball when you play Georgia on defense. So I think that has a bit of a factor in the game. But like I said, with the multiple running backs that I expect us to deploy, hopefully, and a Byron Brown who can issue punishment himself, it may be a different game.
The word elite has been thrown around a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And we have talked about how this defense has potentially kind of tailed off. DC said it best. He said, right when you saw the demarcation point of when NIL became prevalent, you kind of saw the defense kind of tail down a little bit in those numbers, and you kind of saw them tick back up in the running game. Is this defense still elite, in your opinion? I'm gonna start with you, DC.
No.
Wow. No. The number. Okay, let's look at the numbers.
No,
the numbers. I'm looking at the numbers.
Okay,
look
at the numbers. Now, I would say, man, if you look at 2021, that was crazy elite. You know what I'm saying? 71 rushing yards, 190, man. Last year, in 2024, they were up to 129 yards rushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that is not Georgia elite defense with 120, almost 130 yards rushing per game in 2024. 2025, like, they brought it back again. But then they're over 215 yards passing. So from the Georgia I'm used to, and I'm judging this on Georgia. I'm not judging this on any SEC team or other team. I'm just the Georgia standard. Like when we judge Alabama on the Alabama standard with wins and losses, it's a different type of judgment. For me, that is not elite Georgia defense. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not saying elite defense across the board, but when you're judging Kirby Smart and what he's put on the field, 2021, dude, you look at those defenses, man, it's not elite when it comes to Georgia. What Ole Miss did to them last year, man, I was like, bro, this is not Georgia football. The way Ole Miss was just going up and down the field on them, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy, bro. So for Georgia standards, no, it's not elite. That's just my opinion.
Your thoughts? Is this still an elite defense?
Just depends on what you classify as elite. Like, is it a top 30 group? Is a top 30 group elite? Is it not even a ranking thing? Is it a numbers thing? Less than 330 yards, less than 50% third downs, whatever. Like, whatever you classify it as. For me, it's usually like top 15. If you're a top 15 group, you're probably an elite group.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't classify them as elite because I don't see a litany of playmakers. Like I see one elite playmaker, KJ Bolden, who's a top 5 safety in the country. That's it.
Mm.
Mm.
I'm asking you the same question, Tess.
Man, a lot like they said, it depends on what you classify as elite. When you look at our schedule, I think that they're as an elite defense as we're going to face in the regular season. When you look down our schedule, they're one of the top defenses that we will play, and those 2025 numbers come with an asterisk, in my opinion, because if you look at all those numbers from 2021 all the way up to 2025. 2025 was the youngest, most inexperienced version of the Georgia Bulldogs defense that's on that list.
Mike McKinney just said that. He just said that.
Oh, yeah, and they still managed to hold teams under 100 yards rushing per game. That 215 was right around what they put up in what they allowed in 2022 when they went on to win the national championship. So, yeah, you got to be careful with that because they, like I said, they're disciplined, they're smart. They play a complex, on the back end it's complex. And you got to think about, like, in order, we all say Georgia adjusts at halftime better than any other team. We attribute that to Kirby Smart, and that's great. But you have to have extremely smart players to be able to do that. To be able to do it at the level that they do that. Like you just have to be able to, go out and do one thing and say, you know what, second half, we're gonna do something totally different. We might not even practice it, but we just gonna do this and shut off what they want to do best. So you have to have extremely smart players to be able to do that. And then a lot of those players that they had last year this is their second year, second year in the system, maybe third year on the field. But yeah, man, like, as we're going to face, they're as elite as they're going to come on our schedule.
Elite is in the eye of the beholder. Bubba, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just I agree with Tez on everything. And I think that's going to be the case again this year because of what they lost. They lost, Kristen Miller. They lost Ella Medozi. They lost C.J. Allen. They lost Daniel Harris. They lost Dalen Everett. They lost a ton. So, it's probably going to be a very similar situation. But, yeah, I agree. You can't sleep on this group. You cannot sleep on this group.
But they're doing the same thing Auburn is doing, man. It's like you're trying to retain, but you're leaning on, like, sophomores, like true sophomores and stuff like that. Like, we're leaning on, I know we have more veteran, but like Malik Archery and Crawford, that's what they're doing, man. It's like you're not able to maintain and stack all of this depth anymore, man. You're gonna be depending on true freshmen, true sophomores and stuff like that to carry your defense. So I think that's the big difference with Georgia.
Elite is in the eye of the beholder. We'll be right back after these messages, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna talk a little bit about Georgia's offense. Hey, you listening? If you're trying to eat like a champ today, you already know where you gotta go. Adelines by Chef Country. Smoked ribs, real flavor, no shortcuts. Yeah, they do it right. Tap in right now. Call them at 334-498-2325 or slide through at 2371 Highway 14 in Otagoville, Alabama. Adelines, your official pregame meal. Breaking news. Every Sunday night, DC Wolf brings you the biggest stories, hottest takes, and everything you missed across Auburn athletics, from football to basketball and beyond. If it's happening on the Plains, you will hear it here first. Live Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, only on Auburn Addicts TV. Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy, Kid Country, aka Chef Country, aka the Charleston White of YouTube. Adelines, man, go check him out, man. 2371 Highway 14 in Otagoville, Alabama, man. We will be there October 17th for the Auburn versus Georgia game. We will be watching this game live and live streaming, man. So details about that will be coming soon as well. So make sure you go check him out before that. Take a trip up there. Go check him out, see what's going on as well. DC Wolf, tell them about what's going on Sundays.
Oh man, I think, man, Nick, I think we should talk about Auburn on Sunday. Because that's what we do, man. 24/7. We talk Auburn football, man. We talk Auburn basketball, man. So, but we're gonna be talking some Auburn, man, defensive line on Sunday, man. We're gonna be breaking it down, bringing it into focus. I want to know, man, is this team gonna be better? Are we gonna win 8 games, man? Are we gonna win 9 games, man? So we're gonna bring that thing into focus. We're gonna look at the players. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna do some NCAA ratings on those players, man. So it's gonna be a fun show on Sunday. Come see us.
That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, the new morning experience is coming June 29th, 2026, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, man. The pregame playlist, 2-hour morning show, your morning, your sports, your playlist, man. We'll be talking culture. We'll be talking sports. We'll be talking music. We'll be playing music, man, live on YouTube. This is something that I don't think is being done in this space when it comes to sports and culture and music, man. So we're gonna have a great time with this, man. Make us a part of your morning, man. Your morning, your sports, your playlist, man. Come make us a part of it, man. And press play on the play button with the pregame playlist every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us. Let's go ahead and let's get back into it, man. Offense, Mike Bobo, offensive coordinator for the Georgia Bulldogs. A lot of people probably say he's probably a throwback to, an old school type of football and an old school type of way of doing things when it comes to playing football at Auburn. In college football and football in general. Let's take a look at Georgia's potential depth chart, man. You got to start at the quarterback position, Gunnar Stockton. Big, strong kid, all reliable guy. You look at the numbers that he had last year, just under 3,000 yards passing. As well. He had some rushing yards in there as well. You got Nate Frazier coming back at the running back position. Chauncey Bowens is going to be there as well. You look at guys like London Humphreys. You look at Isaiah Cannon, who potentially could be a difference maker in the wide receiver room, even though Georgia has never really had guys in the wide receiver room that were like difference makers. That's still a question mark. For Georgia's offense, it's the wide receiver room. But you look at Lawson Lucky, man, tight end coming back as well, who will be back in the fold. Then you look at the offensive line. You look at Drew Bobo. I believe he's the only
Jesus.
Yeah, I think he's the only one that actually was a starter for a majority of the games last year. You talk about Juan Gaston, who is a guy that they are really, really high on. You talk about Ernest Green. You talk about all these guys on the offensive line, man. And like I said, they have 9 guys that have played or have experience playing in games, but not a lot of guys that have starting experience, if that makes sense to a lot of people. But look at this offense, man. Georgia's always going to have a big physical offensive line. Something that they are just known for because they do run the ball very well, and we expect them to do that again this year with running the ball. We take a look at the numbers when we look at Georgia, right? When we look at these numbers for Georgia's offense from the past 5 seasons, 2021, 14-1, they put up 38 points per game. You look at what they did in 22, the 2 years they won the national championship, had a very prolific offense. But then it has kind of tailed down towards the end, with what they put up per game. You look at the rushing yards have always been high, except for that 24 season where it took a dip there. And then the passing yards per game, have kind of been steady around that 250, above 250, north of 250 is where it has been. When you look at this offense, Tez, and you know exactly what they want to do on the offensive side of the football. And then you look at what Auburn has on the defensive side of the football, right? We know what Auburn has on the defensive side of the football. When we look at that, who has the advantage in this game?
Oh wow, that's a great that's a great question. Because I'm really high on Auburn's defense. I would say Auburn's defense has a slight advantage in this game. because a lot what you said, like they don't have a lot of starting experience on the offensive line. And DJ Durkin particularly is going to be, I feel like it's going to be more exotic than we have seen before in terms of bringing pressure. So I'll give us that. The problem with Georgia's offense for me, not even the problem, but the thing about Georgia's offense for me is that the stats don't tell the story of what they are offensively. They operate their offense. It's very complimentary of their defense. Like when I say that the defense is suffocating, the offense really contributes to that as well. And on top of that, that left side of the offensive line is massive. Dontrell Glover from Bobo on to the tackle in the left. These are big guys. Even one Gaskin at the other tackle. So physicality comes to mind, right? They're going to want to be physical. We know what brand of football that they play. Nate Frazier is a hell of a running back. They're gonna feed him the ball, and Gunnar Stockton is a player who doesn't get a lot of pub for real. He's not on these lists that you see come out, but seemingly every time they need a play, he makes it. Right? He just does. So. Like I said, the stats don't typically tell the story of what Georgia football is offensively. Outside of like when they had Carson Beck, who I thought was an underrated passer of football, except when he made some bonehead plays. But outside of that, like they have been just like this model of consistency, like almost like a heat pump. Like it does what it does and it's efficient and it just runs. Right? It's not. It's not a world beater. It's not the flashiest thing on earth, but it gets the job done. So when I think of an advantage, I would love to say that Auburn has the advantage on defense. However, Auburn can pretty much have a great defensive game against Georgia, and then you look at the offense and it be 3 touchdowns that they score in just like the most inopportune moments. They value possessing the ball more than they value points. So that's a little bit of a different mindset when you're playing defense. Like they really value this offense possessing the ball more than they actually value putting points on the board, because they figure, like I said, it's like suffocating. They figure is the more possessions that we get, the more plays, the less that I can keep that offense, the less opportunities I can get an opposing team's offense, the better my chances are winning. So I guess to answer your question, man, it's really tough to say, to be honest. It's really tough to say.
Bubba, could Auburn's defense be the reason why they win this game, if they win this game?
Yeah, because I'm pretty low on their offensive group, honestly, especially their offensive line. Ernest Green, we've been waiting for him to pop for a while now. Last year he had the back issue, and he just hasn't shown it. Juan Gaston was okay, true freshman, obviously, but they're not even like set at right tackle. Like Ja Jackson has a good shot to get that job, and I just don't see it with him either. His main strength is the fact that he's tall, but that hinders him in the run game. Like he's 6'10", 350, and he couldn't move me. So, I mean, that's the big issue. There's been a lot of talk about Zyke Helton throughout their spring practices and everything. He's a talented young kid, but then you look at the receiver group, it's a Georgia receiver group, except worse than usual. But they do go 6 deep at running back. Like the fact that they have the ability to have Dante Dowdle be their third back is insane, right? And their ace is Gunnar Stockton, who's obviously a really good quarterback, but he struggled under pressure. When you can get to the quarterback, that's been a big problem for him. So I think Auburn actually matches up really well with them. Lawson Lucky is a matchup problem. Absolutely. He's a really good athlete.
Absolutely.
He's a really good athlete. He catches the ball well. He's not as good of a run blocker as Oscar Delp was, but he is a playmaker. So they have a couple guys, but this offensive line group is rough. Drew Bobo, he's consistent, but he's not an NFL guy. So,
DC Wolf.
Yeah, man, I think they match up pretty evenly on the front, man. I think we don't necessarily know what the corners are, but Georgia hasn't had an explosive receiver in a long time. I'm a downfield receiver. We know the guy they had last year. He was explosive. in the screen and short game, but I'm saying just a downfield guy. So I would say it's probably a wash there, man. Where I think this thing could be won is two things. In the linebacker position, man, we have elite linebacker play. And also this is the unseen, the thing that the stats don't show you is play calling. I think Bobo is more Kalen DeBoer than he is David Cutcliffe. And by that, what I mean is David Cutcliffe was a guy who was like, bro, if we're going to run this power run game down your throat, we're going to keep running the same play until you stop it. If you don't stop it, we're going to keep running the same play. Now, I talked to my brother, man. He was complaining about Bobo, and I'm like, why? But we just looked at a game, and Bobo had like 3 run plays where it was like, okay, a 5-yard run play clip. Okay, a 4-yard run play clip. 3.5 yards. And then he just started throwing the ball. And you're like, bro, what is going on? Just keep running the ball. So from that perspective, I think his philosophy, he's intentional with running a little more than Kalen DeBoer them are. But it's like, bro, when it's working, he won't just lean on it. You know what I'm saying? He's a quarterback by nature, man. So even in his run game, if they're just like, bro, if they're bending your back running the ball, he's going to eventually just go away from it. And you like, bro, why? So from that perspective, man, he's not going to lean into the run game. If you look at the stats you just put up, look at Georgia run game when they were elite and won the national championship. They were over 220 some yards per game. Look at the rush yards. 205, 205, 191, 136, bro. It's declining. That's the problem. It's like not that they can't run it, bro. They won't be intentional and just lean on you like they did in 21 and 22. So that's where I think, bro, the advantage is, and the unseen thing is the play calling and philosophy. But
with that advantage, how dominant does a Cody Sigler have to be? How dominant does a Malik Archer have to be? How dominant does a Jerry Smith have to be? How dominant does a Deshaun Womack have to be? How dominant does a Jordan Crawford have to be in his defense in order to keep those numbers below 200 where they were when they were winning national championships? They don't.
My point is they just have to play their game. They don't necessarily have to be these dominant players, because Bobo, by philosophy, he's not going to force the point. You feel what I'm saying? He's not going to force it. Look at 2024, 136 yards rushing a game, bro. You see what I'm saying? It's like, and it wasn't like Georgia can't run the ball or don't have the personnel to run the ball. It's more philosophical, man. It's like you don't necessarily have to just be elite, because by play calling design, he's not going to like just lean on you, bro, and just like, he's not going to do it. He's just going to go to passing. And and I understand Georgia fans' frustration, because I sat and watched it with my brother, and okay, I'm like, bro, I understand it now. It's like y'all can run the ball and run the ball well, but dude is not going to be he's not going to be a boring play caller and just be like, man, we running the ball. That's all we going to do, bro. We going to run this thing 10 times straight if y'all can't stop it. No, man. More quarterback centric play callers, bro. They just gotta throw the ball, and it's like, man, why? You don't have to.
It's more exciting that way.
Yeah. Just like with people in, like, if you like Ted's playing, college football or Madden, bro, those guys that run the ball, they just frustrate people. It's like, bro, you just gonna run the ball for 4 quarters? Man, I'm tired of holding the joystick, man.
Man, so the takeaway from this segment, ladies and gentlemen, before we hit this last break, is if Georgia does not run the ball, Auburn has a really good chance of coming out with a victory at Sanford Stadium this year, and that will be the statement as we go back to what we asked the first part of the show. That would be the statement for Alex Golesh in his first year as Auburn head coach, getting a win, a signature win. That would be a signature win for Alex Golesh if he were able to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take this last break. We're gonna let our sponsors come in and say hello to you one more time. We'll be right back right after this, and we'll pick some games. Let's make it happen. Let's go. We'll be right back. Everybody wants to look like a star when they step out, including you. That's why Hollywood Media got you covered. From clean portraits, corporate events, and even athletic events, they capture it all. These ain't just pictures. This is your moment. Follow now on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube
at Hollywood_media. And follow on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Hollywood Media. Feel like the star you are. You want a solution to protect your family in a moment of crisis. Freddie Metro provides those solutions to protect your family and build real wealth. Serving Alabama and Georgia with trusted advice you can count on. Call him today at 678-870-4001. Freddie Metro, protecting families, building legacies.
Shout out to my quarterback, man, DJ. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood
Shout out
_
to
media.
DJ.
That's Hollywood with an EY. And then, of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. Feel like the star that you are with Hollywood Media, man. I'm telling you, man, you won't regret it, man. Also, man, shout out to our guy, Freddie Metro. You want to protect your family before anything happens, before anything major happens, man. Go check him out, man. Call him today at 678-870-4001 or email him at freddiemetro@gmail.com, man. We want to make sure that we have those things in place. So when something happens, because it could happen, and it could happen unexpectedly, that everything behind us is taken care of. So please give him a call, check him out, and see what he has to offer and see what he can do to help you add to your situation that you already have or help you get started in a situation to make sure that your family is taken care of, man. We appreciate him so much for rocking with us here, man. Fellas, man, we've come to the part of the show where we are going to make our picks for this game is what we're going to do. But before we do that, man, I gotta show the impact players that we've talked about all night. Of course, we talked about Gunnar Stockton. 208, just under 2,900 yards passing last year, 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, just under 500 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns on the ground. You look at Nate Frazier, man, 861 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns, average 5.4 yards per carry as well, man. You look at Elijah Griffin, a guy that we was talking about who potentially could be that next dominant defensive lineman that they that Georgia potentially sends to the next level and be one of those guys that you have to game plan around a lot on the defensive side of the football, man. KJ Bolden, a guy that was committed, was probably close to coming to Auburn at one point in time. One of the best safeties in the country, man, and you potentially have him on the back end who has been in the system for a while and has played a lot as a freshman, and it's a sophomore as well. So, man, we got an opportunity to see exactly what he can do this year and how he's going to take the next step forward. And, of course, Ellis Robinson at that cornerback position had 4 interceptions last year. He led the team in interceptions as well. He was held out of spring a little bit for a minor injury, but he's expected to come back and be a part of the season and one of those guys that you're going to have to definitely game plan around. Fellas, man, we don't have that much time left. Let's go ahead. Let's get these picks in for this game. I'm going to start with Bubba on this one. Bubba, October 17th, Auburn comes off of a bye week in Athens at Sanford Stadium. Alex Golesh's first time there as the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. Who wins this game? And what is your score prediction?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, and I trust Georgia late in close games. So give me Georgia 24-17.
I like it. Georgia 24, Auburn 17. Well, I don't like it. I don't know why I said that, but I guess I just have to deal with it, even though it is what it is. Tez, coming off of a bye week. Alex Golesh first time there. What's your thoughts? Who wins this game?
Yeah, I'm it's the same with Bubba, man. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think both teams probably start off a bit slower than we like, come alive in the second half. I'm looking at 35-38 Bulldogs, unfortunately.
High scoring game. Wow. Okay. High scoring game. I like it. Okay. DC Wolf, your thoughts on that?
Man, I think if you look at the teams, man, they match up pretty evenly. The only question I have would be Auburn's offensive line. And for that reason, man, I'll say, man, close game, 24-21 UGA. And, we'll look at this when we get in the season. It might change because Auburn's offensive line might come together. We don't know, but I'll say it's going to be a close game, man, 24-21.
Oh yeah, we definitely reserve the right to change our minds before the season starts. This is definitely a preview before the season, so anything happening in the season, and this thing could change, man. I think this game looks like Tennessee, Georgia last year. That's what I think. I think this game looks exactly like that. I think Auburn could potentially go on the road and get up big in this game. I think they could. I think Auburn could potentially go on the road, get up big in this game, and then Georgia being Georgia, I think Georgia potentially could lean on that run game a little bit and kind of just wear that defensive line down of Auburn a little bit. And this game could come down to the kicker in this game to make a kick for Georgia. And in that vein, yeah, I'm gonna have to take Georgia to win this game. I'm gonna go high scoring as well. I think this is a 38-41 win for Georgia, in my opinion. I think this is a high scoring game just because of the way that I think Auburn's offense will come out and score big first, and I think Georgia will just rally. Second half, they'll come back and do what Georgia always does, man. I shout out to C Hall for that, man. I'm gonna try not to stutter. C Hall. I know it's a problem for me. I'm gonna try not to, but it is what it is, man. Bill Will said, man, 28-24, Tigers in an upset. Okay, I like it. C Hall says Auburn wins 24-17, and then of course Mike McKinney, he says, man, 38-31, Georgia with the win. Wow, Mike McKinney picked Georgia to win. Oh, man. I'm just playing. Let me stop. I'm just messing with you, Mike. And the insider in the chat, he said 42-40 Auburn. Okay. You got another high-score game right there, man. I like it, man. Fellas, man, this has been a great show, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man. Bubba, tell them where they can find you at.
Bubba and the Old Man on YouTube and Twitter.
That's what it is, man. Ted, tell them where they can find you at.
Man, at SEC on all platforms.
DC Wolf, where can they find you at?
At Auburn_Addicts and Auburn_Addicts TV on YouTube.
I want to get this last comment in real quick. Zudy, shout out to Zudy. He said, I think this matches up well for Auburn. If the defense can stop the run and the offense can move the ball, I think watch out Auburn 24-14. I like it. Jay Money, man, Jermaine Mills in the chat. He said, smash that like button. Please do that for us as well, man. We appreciate y'all so much for that, man. Man, thank y'all so much, man. Make sure that y'all do us a favor, man, before we get out of here, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to these guys, man. I'm going to put the graphic up again. Make sure you go subscribe to these guys. All of these guys on the screen right there, man. Tez, Tight Sports, DC Wolf, Auburn Addicts, Dustin, B Sharp, man, Vandy Chris, Bubba and the Old Man, Kid Country, and of course, I got at the Huggy Beard himself on YouTube and on Twitter, man. And then, of course, man, go follow our social media platforms, man. At CoolSpot23 on Twitter, man. At the Water Cooler Talk on Instagram and TikTok. Water Cooler Talk Podcast on Facebook. And then, of course, visit us at our website, www.watercoolertalksports.com. Ladies and gentlemen, man, this has been a great show, man. I think this has been a very informative show. And hopefully y'all like the new format of what we're doing around here, man. We try to get it in, try to get it out. We try to get the topics in, try to get it done, and want to make it as streamlined as possible because your time is valuable to us, and we appreciate y'all so much for coming and rocking with us here around the Water Cooler. All right, man, we'll be back Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, back around the Water Cooler. We'll be looking at LSU. Oh, man, this is going to be a good show, man. We're going to be looking at LSU and how they chop.
Y'all, Lane Kiffin haters.
We'll be looking
Lane
at
Kiffin slander.
It
is
Lane
Kiffin haters,
slander,
man.
It may be some on that show. That's
I
don't
Lane Luther Kiffin Jr.
Lane Luther Kiffin Jr., bro. That is hilarious, bro. They had to be one of the funniest things I had ever heard in a long time, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we're gonna get up out of here, man. As always, y'all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. Make sure y'all get the man upstairs above his because he deserves all the praise and all of the glory. Ladies and gentlemen, until we see you again on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, back around the Water Cooler. It is one love. Y'all be easy, man. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a great weekend. Y'all stay safe. We'll see you when we see you. It is what it is.
This has been a presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports.